I'll be honest, when I first saw the trailer for Pokopia, I was very skeptical. Pokemon spin-offs are usually pretty good or completely mediocre. That with the $70 price tag, and needless to say, I wasn't hopping at the opportunity to get this game. However, after seeing some of my favorite creators play this game and hearing the wonderful fan reception, I decided to give the game a try. And I'm very happy I did, because this turned out to be one of the best spin-off games the Pokemon company has made in a very long time. It's a cozy game that has provided countless hours of fun and is certain to provide countless hours more, all while having this wonderful message of environmental awareness. So, join me as we dig into Pokemon Pokopia, and truly, thank you for watching. The game starts with a Ditto, who serves as the player character in this game. The Ditto transforms into the best human it can muster and finds itself in this cave before running into one of the game's primary side characters, Professor Tangrowth. The professor seems surprised to see you and lets on that he hasn't seen any humans or Pokemon in a very, very long time. You go out from the cave only to find that the world has become this withered wasteland. You find Squirtle laying on the ground, who seems to be very dehydrated. Since you're a Ditto, you can copy the Squirtle's move and spray water on the poor thing. Squirtle wakes up and is very grateful for your help. You can then water some grass around you to create a new habitat, from which a Bulbasaur arrives, who teaches you how to grow tall grass, which can be used to make more habitats. This is the core gameplay loop of the game. You create habitats and discover more Pokemon that can teach you moves or have helpful abilities which allow you to make more habitats, etc. You can also make these habitats better to live in and make the Pokemon who live there happier. This can range from putting down a bed or toys to literally building them a house for them to live in. You continue to work with Professor Tangrowth, where he seems to be struggling to find what happened to all the humans. He concludes that the humans will work similarly to the Pokemon, where if we continue to improve the environment, then eventually the humans will come back. With this, we have our goal. I really like this premise. Just the idea of all these Pokemon missing their trainers so much that they are going to fix the environment and work together just to see them again is adorable and more than a worthwhile motivation to beat the game. We explore a bit more and find the ruins of what looks to be an old Pokemon Center. By it, we can find a PC, which can show the happiness levels of the Pokemon we've found so far. You can also use the PC to do missions to earn coins that can be used to purchase valuable items like bigger backpacks, PP-ups, and just decorative items to make your area look nicer. While exploring, we also find this weird lighthouse-looking building, where apparently this voice tells us that we need to do a bunch of initiation tasks, which involve collecting a bunch of items and giving it into this machine. Weird. We'll have to come back to here later in the video. At this time, I think it's important to mention that many people have tried to compare this game to Minecraft, some going as far as calling this a Minecraft clone, but I don't think that's at all accurate in my opinion. Sure, it has a lot of sandbox/survival game mechanics like Minecraft, but that type of game isn't exclusive to Minecraft. In fact, it's been in the gaming world for a long time. The main similarity that I can see is the blocky world, but even then, besides the ground, not much of the stuff in this world is actually blocky. I'd say it's more similar in art style to Animal Crossing if anything else. Speaking of art styles, this game also looks really great. I'll admit as a Pokemon fan that many of the newer games just look alright. I don't really mind too much, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss some of the older art styles. However, this game tries to go for an art style that's a lot more of a change from the rest of the series, and I love it. It's this very cutesy vibe which once again reminds me of Animal Crossing, and it just works. Back to the game. After continuing to improve the environment, you and Professor Tangrowth decide that it would be worthwhile to rebuild the Pokemon Center. But you need a Pokemon that has the ability to grind, I think? We find an Onix with this ability, but unfortunately he's trapped inside this cave with these unbreakable blocks blocking his way out. I hate to be that guy, but can't Onix just snake his way through the gaps? I'm pretty sure he's literally called the Rock Snake Pokemon, which, now that I mention it, I remember in the anime the Pokedex always refers to Pokemon as like the Fire Dog Pokemon or the Poison Snake Pokemon, but there aren't any like dogs or snakes in the Pokemon world. All of the animals are replaced with Pokemon, so like, where do these names come from? Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. To free Onix, we need to wetten the rocks, and to do this, we need to make it rain. Luckily, we befriend a Slowpoke who can make it rain by yawning, but the environment level needs to be more humid first. So we complete various tasks until it's humid enough for the Slowpoke to make it rain with his yawns. And it rains for like 15 seconds. Way to go, little buddy. But luckily for us, all this work managed to awaken the legendary Pokemon Kyogre. And yes, I did have to look up how to spell that name in my script, who makes it rain for a much longer period of time. We can then free Onix and fix the Pokemon Center back to its former glory. Another plus with encountering Kyogre is that it raises our trainer rank on our Pokedex that we found a while back. This can allow us to open gates to other areas, and yes, there are other areas. 4 more to be exact. Not be covering all these areas in as much detail as the first one, because I don't want this video to be an hour long, but they are all full of new Pokemon to discover and new mechanics that add on to the already enjoyable gameplay experience. First off, this beautiful dark forest area next to the volcano where we meet this Greedent chef who teaches us to cook better foods, which can give us a temporary boost to our moves, like making more grass grow when you eat a salad, or breaking stronger blocks when you eat these steak burger things, etc. Then there is this large, dark city area, where we can find a bunch of poison and bug-type Pokemon, which I just find really funny that you find those in the city area. And you have to light up the place by making use of energy generators, which can be used to power up lamps and various other things. Here we can also meet this paled out Pikachu named Pikachu, who struggles to produce electricity like she used to, and is kind of anxiety ridden. To be honest, normally I'm not a big fan of the trope of giving Pikachu a bunch of different forms every series because it's the series mascot, but Pikachu is so lovable and brings a whole new idea to the normally over-energetic Pikachu characterization that we've seen in the past. Another area is the Sky Island Archipelago, where you can find a bunch of these pseudo-legendary and flying-type Pokemon, as well as this Tinkertongue, who can make these gears that can be made into all kinds of useful contraptions. It also seems like the bottoms of all these islands are made up of those crystals you find in Area Zero, which is probably just a coincidence, but I think it's pretty cool. Of course, all of these areas have a bunch of their own unique questlines and quirky guys to meet. Each area also has a Pokemon Center to rebuild and a questline to go with it, like how you have to light up the Dark City area, or you gotta build this big tower in the Sky area. Each quest ends in finding another legendary Pokemon and rising in your trainer rank. This ensures that all of these areas feel memorable and unique. It's also important to mention that the order which you go through each area isn't actually linear, so you can go to the ones that interest you most and maybe change up your route on a second or third playthrough, adding some replayability. Of course, those with fingers and can probably count realize that I've only brought up 3 of the areas so far, and that leads to our last area. This area doesn't have any major quests besides rebuilding the Pokemon Center, but rather provides a giant open sandbox for you to build whatever your creative mind desires, and can allow you to build a bunch of different habitats for a bunch of different Pokemon. I've spent over a third of my playthrough in this area alone, and it also provides a lot of endgame content after you've completed the main story. We also get a chance to observe the Pokemon themselves, which are done wonderfully in this game. Every Pokemon in this game not only has its own personality, but it also has abilities that can help you rebuild environments, build cool things, and just be a convenience to you in general. There were many times in this game where I was thinking, man, I sure wish I could do this task more efficiently, and there would always be a Pokemon that could just help me. It's great! The Pokemon don't just interact with you, however, they interact with their environment and the other Pokemon as well. Countless times I've seen these little guys having humorous, cute, and sometimes even strange interactions that I won't forget. and it's all just going on in the background. It really adds a lot to the game and makes the whole world feel natural and real. But all this talk about the Pokemon, we still haven't found any of the humans yet. However, we have been finding a bunch of notes around everywhere left for us to read. Apparently, there was some kind of climate disaster that forced the humans to move somewhere. It makes sense why everything is such a wasteland now. Each legendary we see will also give us some hints about what happened to the humans. Without much else to do, we head back to that lighthouse building I mentioned earlier, and we collect a bunch of items that we find all throughout the different areas and throw them into the machine there, only to reveal that the lighthouse wasn't a lighthouse at all. It was a rocket ship, and then it starts flying into space. We get to watch all the Pokemon from all around the world watch as the rocket shoots up into the atmosphere. We keep watching a cinematic of the rocket until... Absolutely beautiful. Hey, thanks for watching this video to the end. It really means a lot. Hopefully you found it to be worth your time. However, if you just want to spend a little bit more time, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and shared this video to a friend. I'm a small channel at the moment, to the point where if you feel like commenting, I'll probably read whatever you have for me down there. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.